Welcome to Business Strength Mastery. I'm Dean Maiden and I've been in the fitness industry now for over 15 years, both owning a gym and online coaching. I'm dedicating time every single week to help strength coaches like you build profit, performance, and freedom. This is your roadmap to breaking down the barriers, building the business that you deserve, and living your dream life. If you find value here, now please support the channel, subscribe, like, comment, and even share to somebody that needs to hear this. And if I can help you in any way, just message me. I'm only a DM away. But for now, let's get started. Welcome into today's episode. So today I want to talk to you about how to transform yourself from a hobbyist coach to a professional coach. And let me give you a little bit of context on this before I dig into it, because look, I've been in the industry now for 15 years and I've been through the trenches. I've been through the stages of understanding what it's like to not have systems and not have your business, not have your planning, your structure, your vision, and everything in place to be able to deliver what I know I could deliver. And that came from being a good athlete, a good coach, but not understanding business. And this is why it's so vital to look at exactly the areas that I'm going to break down for you now, so you can see the difference between where you are and where you want to be. Some of these areas you may have figured already. Some of them you may not even know what they are. But take this as your chance. And if you haven't already, stop this video right now, go and get a pen and paper and write down the areas from this that you then need to work on to become the professional in what you do. Coaches that are really good at coaching only know how to coach most of the time. They don't know how to run a business. A couple of things to think about here. First of all, it's quite sad to see coaches give so much, progress people so much, and get paid very little for it. Let's not kid around and pretend that people are not doing this for money. I've heard so many coaches over the years say that they are doing this for the passion. And I get it. I was there. I did it for the passion. But the long and short of it is you have a family, you have people that you want to support, you have a life that you want to develop and live. So there is no, playing around to say that I'm doing it for passion, because if you were doing it for passion, then why don't you just do it for free? And that really is the game changer for me at one point in my life, where I was earning a lot of money, I was changing a lot of lives, but I wasn't able to feel that I had the freedom and I had the business to be proud of. And that really is the thing that a lot of people struggle with, is getting the balance between earning the money, working, doing what they want to do, but also living life as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to break down for you 5 areas that you want to be focusing on for you to progress yourself, to become a professional and actually hit 5 to 7K months consistently. Number 1 is ultimately to think about, like, for the marketing side of things, with typically let's call them hobbyists. And I'll let you decide if you're a hobbyist or a pro. But let's call them hobbyists, right? But for your hobbyist, a lot of hobbyists are working on the content that they're delivering for marketing being their own training. Now, again, I've been there and I know what it's like. You are good at what you do. You want to show off how strong you are, because by showing off how strong you are, you bring people in. But the point is here, it's not a marketing structure or system. And look, when are you getting your next client? You don't know. It's just throwing something at a wall, hoping it sticks and hoping somebody likes what they see for them to then want some of what you've got. So when you think of the hobbyist versus the pro side is more about the structured pillars within their content and their marketing. For example, think of 3 to 6 pillars of content, of basically areas of content that you're going to talk about. One would be testimonials and client wins, because you need to show that you're getting client wins and you're working with real people. Number 2, it could be educational content. But the problem here is, please don't fall into the trap of just doing boring educational content, because look, if you do that, you're going to blend in with everybody else. And why would somebody watch you versus somebody else? So go more down the line of controversial stuff and actually pointing out why you're different to others, or why you don't believe in doing it a certain way and you do it your way. Another content pillar could be something in and around the way that you work your systemized methods within your training. So for example, you might have a certain way that you like to train people. My thing was about trying to instead of adding load, add resistance and add intensity in other ways as opposed to adding weight to a bar. I found that that was a really, really beneficial way to help people not getting injured often and progressing more often, plus allowing the central nervous system to recover. And that's something I used to bang on about quite a lot, because that method and that system really helped for the longevity of the athlete. Think about these pillars of things that are exempling you and what you do. I've just given you 3 examples there, but think of a couple more. And the idea here is to work on these pillars constantly throughout your content. Write the pillars down first, and then write the content of each one which you're going to do. Number 2 then is the sales side of things. So with sales of your hobbyist, typically, it's word of mouth, right? Whenever I ask somebody that says, they're struggling for leads, they're struggling to take people on, what is the strategy you have in place? Well, I don't really have one. It's word of mouth. You can be as good as you want, but word of mouth is not a guaranteed way. It's also not a viable way that you know you're going to get leads in. So you need to have a system. And that is typically how, let's say, the hobbyist would work. They will be putting content out, hoping that it sticks at some point. Now, when we flip it around to the pro side, we've got a funnel, we've got building trust and education. So we're looking at making sure that there is some form of funnel of taking them from A to B, and understanding that you are the person to help them. So first of all, from the content that you're putting out, people will be looking at your content, starting to either like or not like you. Simple as that. And that's exactly what you want. When they like you, and then you say, put something out that they're interested in, give them a call to action. They then go into your funnel, i.e. they show interest in what you've got, and then you take them through the stages. I will go through exactly what a funnel is in another video, but without going into too much depth here, that's the simple line of a funnel. You're taking them through a process where they're putting their hand up to say, yes, I like what you've got, and I want something that you have or that you deliver. And then you take them through that process. It's having something as an entry point to go into your world as such. You've got the building trust. Now, obviously, the big part of sales is building trust, right? And we need to make sure that people trust you or like you and trust you to then be able to move on to wanting to buy off you. So again, it's about how do you build trust? A pro will have ways that they build trust by, first of all, like lead magnets and things that people can jump onto. But secondly, having email systems internally so that they're starting to build rapport and build trust with this person. Then they will have points of outreach where they will contact people and just have real life conversations. Now, I speak to so many people online that are scared of reaching out to people, thinking that they're just going to be looked at as, I'm trying to sell. Well, let's be honest, you are trying to sell. The sooner you overcome that, the more likely you are then to grow, get a bigger reach, and actually start to work with these people. And then the last thing here on the sales side of things is to educate people. Again, when you educate people, you're building authority for yourself, which makes you stand out as the expert and the person for them to go to when they feel like they want some support and want some help. There are a lot of coaches online and in gyms that don't look like they are even coaching, and that's the problem there. The amount of times I've gone on someone's Instagram page and it doesn't look like they're a coach, and that is their first bottleneck that they're having. The third area then is the business side of things. So within the business of the hobbyist as such, let's be honest, it's boring, it's simple, and it's a very basic model of coaching. I hear so many people say, get coached by them. You're going to get a check-in every week. You're going to get a Zoom check-in, either bi-weekly or weekly. You're going to get a program written out for you. You're going to get a nutrition plan, whatever it is. All these things are basic, boring things that, yes, people need, but the overriding issue here is that's exactly the same as everybody else. So again, if we reverse back to the whole building trust, if we're trying to build trust with people and you're trying to get them to see you as an authoritative person, someone to look up to, someone that's going to drive them forward towards their goal, why would any of this stand out? You need to do some market research and be specific with it. And when we switch over to the pro, this is exactly what the pro does, right? It's about researching the market and actually having a product and a program that the market actually wants. Now, within the program, it will be the same things. Number one, we need to say sexy it up so that it just sounds better. And secondly, we then need to add things in there that actually are more specific to the areas that they struggle with. So for example, it could be a session that they get a one-to-one session with you, analyzing their movement patterns to be able to lift more effectively. Now that is worth a lot of money. It costs you nothing to deliver, and it's a big part of that product. And it makes your coaching model a lot more sexy, a lot more, intriguing to want to be a part of. You could add in group calls where you have a Q&A once a week or bi-weekly or once a month, whatever. You could have an onboarding system that takes them step by step through how to build their nutrition, how to live a better lifestyle, etc. But these are all features of your business model, and that's exactly what you want to be bringing into it, so that it looks different, and it is different, and it delivers a different result for people. So number 4 then is the system side of things. So let's be honest, most hobbyists of the coach side, with the systems, they'll have 0 to low systems at all. A lot of people that I speak to, and yes, I was this person once, are unsure what to do with tech, so they just leave it, and they think, I can't do all that sort of side of things. They're trading time for money as opposed to making things smooth and actually making life easier for themselves. And ultimately, they're not getting any more time for themselves to deliver the better service that they could. Now, when we flip over to the pro side has systems and everything in place to be able to step back from the manual, repetitive, day-to-day stuff and actually deliver a better service. The onboarding, it's going to be the same for every single person, so it should be automated. There is parts of it that, yes, will become specifically focused on people, but majority of the things are repeated, so you should really be getting them in an automatic format so that it's just done for you. You've then got like the members area. So have a members area on your bit within your business, so that there's things for people to be learning round the clock, as opposed to thinking like they only learn when they speak to you. If you can have an automation system in this format where it sends them out emails of things that they should be doing weekly, again, it's that constant contact, it's their constant learning. They will need you less, and you will build your business in a much more effective and efficient way, because you're focused on delivering a better a better service, as opposed to trying to always do things manually. And really with this, like anything that's repeated, you want to automate. And that is the bottom line sort of rule. So think about the things that you could put within your business in an automated fashion, so you don't have to be doing them every single day. And then the last area is the lifestyle. When you look at the lifestyle of a hobbyist, again, the work takes over. Work is something that when you're a coach, you're strong person, you're fit, you know what you want to do and where you're going within your career as an athlete, or as somebody that's training. You're focused on all this so much that you forget the business side. And then alongside that, family can slip, the downtime can slip, and everything else. And before you know it, you're living every single day focused on your work, thinking it's passion, but actually you haven't got the things in place to run your business effectively or scale your business. And a lot of the time people say that they feel like they are working for somebody else. And this wants to be a game changer of a moment for anybody right now that feels like they're working for somebody else within their own business. This should not be the thing. This is not what you set your business up for, and you need to make some changes within that. So if we switch it to the pro side of things, it really is about building that balance, having boundaries in place so that people know where to get you at what times. And you're able to then not feel guilty for not being super responsive all the time. And you're able to live your life, deliver a really good service, and continue growing your business. In this sort of thing, like, it's understanding that time off equals energy. A lot of people feel guilty for having time off, but actually when you have time off, recharge your batteries, if you want to put it like that, and you refocus yourself, and you have good downtime that enables you to come back with more energy, you're then going to focus harder on the periods that you're working on your business. And one of the biggest things that I've been working on mastering for the last 2 years is being present with who you're with. Again, as an entrepreneur, as a dad, as somebody that's trying to focus on the next best thing, because that's just how my brain works all the time. I find it hard to be present in a room, or I did find it hard, should I say, to be present in a room. And that is the thing that I've worked on massively over this period of time. So again, it's something that I find so many people, their cogs are turning in their brain, and they're always thinking about the next thing that they need to do, which is great to be in that drive position at points. But if you're like that all the time, and then you're spending time with your family and your kids or whoever else you're spending time with, and you're not quite present, you're then just being driven by your business constantly. So look, they are the 5 areas that I would beg you to think about, because they are the things that are going to change your life when it comes to building profit, performance, and freedom, which is exactly what I teach with inside the mentoring program. Now, write these things down. I'm only a DM away if you want to message me and let me see the areas that you have picked out that you need to work on. But make this your point where you realize something. I hope there's been a moment where you've thought, fuck yes, this is something I need to change, or realize that something is different to how you thought it was. These are the moments where we actually then take a step forward in the right direction and start to see some changes. So head on to all this stuff, nail it. And if you want to work with me in the future, just drop me a message and we can have a chat and understand exactly where you're at within your business and how I can take you to 5 to 7K consistent months. So I hope this video has given you massive value and understanding of something to work on next. Click on one of the videos after this to, again, build your profit, performance, and freedom, and I'll see you on the next video.